Fawn Arnold from beltlikeapro.com, and I am a professional belt singer, and I love to help people with vocal problems. Before we get started, I just want to say if you are having any problems and you need some help, shoot me an email, fawn@beltlikeapro.com. I will help you. Yes, I will. So today's Belt Like a Pro question comes from Peter. And Peter says, "Hi Fawn, I'm a baritone and I always have problems with my high notes. I can hit them, but I can't hold them. When I try, I just can't sustain them and my sound is not consistent. Do you have some tips for me?" Boy, howdy. Okay, it's very important to know exactly how the vocal cords work because there's several things that could be going wrong in your case, Peter. First of all, you have to realize that when you're singing low, a major portion of the vocal cords are resonating. That means that a lot of the vocal cords are moving, like a big portion of them. As you go up, you have to train your vocal cords or give them the coordination to use less area of resonation. Okay, so they don't resonate completely. They just use a very small part. I can compare it to this. When you play saxophone and you try to hit a high note with the saxophone, it's really hard. However, if you're playing a piccolo flute, then it's easier to hit a high note with that because the area of resonation is actually smaller. Yeah? So you want to make sure that your vocal cords are actually using less area of resonation up there. Okay, and I'm going to do some exercises with you on that right now. So first of all, I want you to just say the word Bubba. We love Bubba. And I want you to be very, very small with Bubba. And I want you to say the Bubba without any breathiness. Okay, so you're going to go ba 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 ba. And as you go up, I want you to use less resonation, area of resonation, and you do that by getting quieter. I don't want you to give it a lot of sound. Sound comes later. You have to learn how to sing the note quietly first in order to sustain it in a loud position later. Because those little vocal cords, the area of resonation is very small and it has to hold back lots of air pressure because the air pressure is what makes you louder. And if the coordination isn't there, then the vocal cords won't be able to hold themselves together while you're giving that extra loudness with air. Okay? So that's why we have to start small. Okay? So you might also try, as you go up, getting a little bit in the nasal pharynx. That means you're going to sound a little bit like caca, okay? You're going to sound bad, you're going to sound nasal, and you're going to sound nasty. Here we go. Okay, make sure that was actually kind of like a baritone tenor range. So make sure that you are, girls, you can do this too in your range. You can actually, you're going to actually be like in a head voice position when you do this. Don't be in the chest voice position. Be in the middle register or the falsetto. Okay, so moving on. Another reason, so you've got to make sure that that's how you get your vocal cords, teach them to be coordinated. Okay, so moving on from that, after that, you want to make sure, depending on what style of high voice you're singing, you're going to have to change your larynx and you're going to have to change the back of your soft palate. That's that thing that hangs down in the back, attached to the roof of your mouth where that thing hangs down. That's soft, and that's why they call it the soft palate, in case you didn't know. Okay, so if you are singing in the falsetto, that means that your voice is detached from the rest. It's not ah, it's yeah. So this detached falsetto voice is the voice that you have when your larynx is low and to the back. So the girls are not going to feel their larynx because it's going to be to the back, and the guys are going to feel it very, like a little bit, not a lot at all. Okay, so I want you to do this and let the larynx be low and to the back. So if you're trying to sing a note in that position, in a classical, light falsetto voice, then you have to make sure that your larynx is down and that the back of your soft palate in the back where that thing hangs down, that is like doing an arch, okay? So then if you have that position, it's easier to sustain the note. And you've got the same color and sound quality without it changing and getting tight, okay? Okay? So just try that a couple of times, just sustaining that ah. And make sure that the ooh is way to the back, that your larynx is way to the back and down. Almost like you're yawning. And I always have the feeling that I'm popping my ears, like when you do it in an airplane or when you come out of a tunnel. Okay? Also, it's a breath support that you have for that style. Make sure that your flankens, now if you don't know what a flanken is, you have to go back and look at my videos about that. That is the way that I breathe. I breathe into the flankens. The flankens is a German word. I love that word. And it's like the side of your body here. So every time I breathe, I don't try to make my stomach fat. It gets fat anyway, but I'm not like, my goal is not to make it fat here. I'm filling this up. Yeah? And so when you're in that falsetto voice, when you let the air out, you're going to see how the flankens fall together. They're going, okay? Here we go. I don't know if you heard that, but like the arch in the back went down a bit like that, and I had to save it. I'll do that on purpose this time. Okay, and so that you can hear the difference when it falls and then when it's arched up. Okay, one more. Okay, I'm not even really trying to be loud. I'm just trying to sustain the note without being loud. As you progress, please try it loud, but don't try it loud until you've got it down really good and you're able to sustain the note as well as the sound for a long amount of time quietly or in a mezzo forte. If you are having problems sustaining high notes in the middle register, then it's a little bit more difficult. If you change your larynx from being low and to the back as to being high and to the front, you can still be in head voice, but you're going to have a different sound. Also, that arch in the back is going to fall a bit so that you're putting your placement more towards the front. Okay, let's just try that quietly. Okay, I'll go up as high. So So I can feel my Adam's apple right here. It's not going to the back or getting low, okay? This is what I call nasty head voice. Actually, the girls can do this in this range as well. I know it sounds bad, but we're just training the muscles, the coordination, so that the muscles know that they're using less area of resonation and that the Adam's apple and everything knows how to go to the front. So this time, instead of your flankens falling, you're going to keep them tight and out, okay? So it's going to be... Then you let them fall, okay? They're not going... That's a more detached sound. If you keep these a little bit tighter, this area tight, you're going to also feel that here, where your ribs come together, that soft spot right below where your ribs come together is going to be hard while you're doing this. Okay, here we go. I don't know if you saw how my ribs expanded when I did that. You are in your head voice. Now, the tighter this is, the more you can open up in the back. Okay, you're going to apply more pressure here and here when you're getting louder. And you're going to breathe in a little bit more, okay? So whether you can sustain that high note or not, it doesn't matter at all because it's really not about that. Your voice is so special. There's not any other voice in the world like yours. And actually, the FBI can use your voice to identify you. It's like fingerprints or DNA. It's that special. If your intentions are to share your talent with people, to share the message of what you're singing with people, to make them happy, nothing can go wrong. So keep your voice healthy, keep your thought about your voice loving, and keep on keeping it on. Put it out there. See you in 14 days. Belt like a pro.
By the river, so sweet.